2.5 or 2 million cases in backlog. The question that was asked, what can I possibly do in order to advance my case, in order to position myself? Should I just stay, wait until my day will come, hopefully someday? Well, the answer is no. There's things that you can do, right? Or you can try, and hopefully those things can lead you to a solution. I said that I was going to answer that question in this video, and in this video, I am going to lay out foundation for you. My name is Bijoux Ngwanda. I'm an immigration lawyer based here in DC. I do work with individuals across the globe because we're dealing with complex U.S. immigration law cases. If you're new to my channel, you go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. And please do not forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. If you enjoy the content, you go ahead and share, like. Don't forget to comment below. Also follow me everywhere, right? On TikTok, Instagram, Facebook page, and Facebook group. At least on Facebook group if you have a question to ask, okay? Especially those questions that has general answer. Really, you can just post them on our private Facebook group. We'll try our best to answer those questions, okay? You can also post them on YouTube. We'll try our best to answer them. But if you need a consultation with me, consultation fees apply. You can schedule it yourself by clicking the link in the description box below. What is the answer? What can I possibly do? Let's start with people in immigration court. If you are in immigration court and it looks like you're just turning around with no court date, or the court date is like 2 years or 4 years from today's date, well, what you can do is file a motion to advance. A motion to advance. And now when you file a motion to advance, right, you have to have good cause. Really, you have to have a reason why they should hear your case before all those other 2 millions of people. Something so drastic, right? So, for example, if you have, let's say, a serious illness, okay, like someone who's getting transplant or organ transplant, someone who's like really has a serious problem, especially when illness is concerned, or the illness of a relative, okay, qualifying relative. Something so a little bit extreme to a point in order to position yourself before all those other 2 million individuals. If you have that, then you can try a motion to advance. But guess what? You have to prepare. When you go to court, you have to prepare. Just know that the court is 50-50, right? You have 50% chance of winning a case or 50% chance of, well, the case to be denied. And once the case gets denied, you can appeal, right? Board of Immigration Appeal. Well, just try to go to federal court if you can, so that you can avoid another delay with BIA. Remember, cases have been pending with BIA since the beginning of time. And when it comes to review cases in federal court too, sometimes cases have been pending in circuit court since, who knows. You just have to be prepared mentally in case you get a denial. It's just going to put you again in another delay. Mentally, you have to be prepared. But the worst case scenario is for you not to try. That's the worst case scenario, especially if you have good cause for a motion to advance or extraordinary circumstances, right? Change in circumstances, stuff like that. That's a little bit really extreme, or something that really will make the judge say, yes, we need to hear this case first, okay? That's with people in immigration court. USCIS, pending. What should I possibly do? Well, we can start with expedited requests. Remember, we have talked about expedited requests before. The reason you want to take expedited requests, it's because it might work, okay? Sometimes it works, and it's cheaper than going to federal court. So expedited requests based on humanitarian reasons, okay? Urgent reasons. While that could be disease, seriousness of the disease, of the illness has to be so serious, extreme a little bit. So death of a family member, qualifying family member, that's going to be a child, spouse, or parent. business reason that you have to go, like something a little bit like perhaps you have estate that has to be divided and you are the estate executor, things like of that nature, right? Especially if you're doing for a travel document, right? Things of that nature, like you are an executive executor, sorry, of a estate and you have travel abroad. Those are the reason they can expedite your request. Okay, one of the reason, of course. Really, the list, it goes on, but if you go on uscis.gov, you can really see expedited request. Follow-up question on expedited request is, well, after my request has been granted, how long should I wait? We talked about it in the previous video. Approximately 120 days, 4 months. Sometimes it's just less, sometimes it's more, but at least on the average 4 months. That's after expedited request has been granted. But how long does it take for them to respond on an expedited request? 10 days, right? I've seen it 7 to 10 days they have to respond on expedited request, whether they're gonna grant it or not. So once they grant it, that's when you wait again at least 4 months before they actually work the case. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but the average is 4 months, okay? If expedited request doesn't work for you, well, you go to federal court for unreasonable delays. That's really where you really get it done in federal court, right? Unreasonable delay. If it's an asylum case, we've talked about it in detail. Well, you gotta be prepared in case your asylum doesn't get granted. Then you go back again to the same line in federal in immigration court, and then you start waiting again there. And then if you have a motion to advance, then you advance again your case to be heard before those other 2.5 millions. Okay, the expedited request process, you can do it too with NVC for humanitarian reasons. You can do it with a lot of petitions, right? With USCIS. BIA, my friend, motion to advance. You can try a motion to advance, hopefully. Okay. What else can you do? Really, those are and another thing that you can do really in order to avoid all those delays is to file a complete file. I'm going to give you a specific example. When it comes to green card application, just file with everything. They ask for examination, medical exam, just do it. They ask for, especially if you're required to file with I-824 or you're required to file with I-864, really file with all that. If the income is less or you have in doubt with the income, consult, right, with somebody who's gonna tell you about the income requirement and explain it to you in details. Why not? If you have to join a sponsor, just do it at the first filing, a complete application. That way you're gonna avoid delay, because some states it's only take 2 years to get a green card, really. In the meantime, you get your work permit. So that's how you avoid those delays. When you position yourself well, but let's say you've done all that, it's still delayed, then that's when we talked about those previous things we talked about, like expedited request, suing in federal government, motion to advance, if you're in immigration court, stuff like that. So that's exactly what you can do, right, to position yourself before those 2.5 million people. If you have no venues, like really federal court will be for unreasonable delay, federal court is. But let's say you try all that, doesn't work, then we ask that you remain strong, the mindset. Sorry, my video got cut short, but you have to have a good mindset so that you can get it right, okay? Mindset is important because this immigration journey is so long, so disturbing, so slow, so costly. Yeah, the mindset, mental requirement, you really have to be strong to face all that, because we're all in this journey, whether you are the client or we are the attorneys. This journey is not easy for anybody. So the mindset has to be strong. So that was it, right? We've done it, friends. If you need a consultation, again, just go ahead and schedule it on your own time by clicking the link in the description box below. I will be live on April 7. We are going to be talking about motion to reopen. All about motion to reopen is going to be a webinar. I am going to give you a lot of information when the time comes, so we can get it right. Motion to reopen, so that we can help people reopen their cases and adjust status if they qualify. We'll provide a lot of free advice. You need to stay tuned. I will advertise about it. It's free webinar, but you really have to be part of it if you intend to file for a motion to reopen, or you want to learn about motion to reopen. But if you are trying to get something else, we're not going to don't be there. Just give the spot to somebody else who need that type of information. Okay? Until next time, bye-bye.